Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be talking about whether or not a phone is all you need for everyday use and for, well, can it replace your computer? Let's get into it. Yeah, so as I said guys, I think that for most people, your phone and maybe a second monitor for it is really all you need, because your phone can already do quite a lot, like a lot, because essentially it is a computer in the palm of your hand. For some people, that could be their tablet, that could be their phone, that could be the new folding phones, I guess you could say. And I kind of wanted to go into detail about that because, I've been using, I originally started my channel on mobile devices and stuff like that. I originally started my channel on my S5. I still have it. It doesn't work anymore. But, it's one of those things where it's like, mobile mobile phones has come so far, that I would feasibly say that they are a good replacement for most daily tasks that you can think of. And the sad thing is you're not utilizing the full potential of your machine, of your phone in this case, due to the fact that the software is very limiting. The hardware is perfectly fine, but the software is very limiting. So, and with Android 10, for example, any phone with Android 10 and an HDMI out connection can use a desktop feature called, I think it's a desktop simulation, some of that. It's built into Android 10 by default. And it's a feature that I feel that not a lot of companies are utilizing, because like Samsung Dex, for example. Samsung Dex is on this phone. It's one of my favorite features of this phone, because if my computer dies, I don't have to worry all that much, because I can just grab an adapter. I just grab an adapter like this, like USB-C on one, and then, charging an HDMI on the other, and a USB port as well. So I can hook that up to, in my case, I've got a hard drive dock with two USB ports and a charging dock. That's my desktop right there, basically. Yeah, it's the same apps, but it can do the same thing. And the cool thing is, while the phone is being used in a desktop mode, you can still keep using the phone. So I'm going to show that off in this video, so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Alrighty guys, so I got my phone plugged in to the adapter, and I'm going to show you guys what I mean by desktop feature. So a lot of people probably already know about this. I would like to see a lot of companies get more into actually utilizing the full power behind the phone you have, instead of re-releasing new hardware because it's, quote, not powerful enough. The Asus ROG phone, that phone is a freaking monster. It has a lot of really good hardware in it, and it's an expensive phone, yes, absolutely, but there are some features that I think a lot of companies are really missing out on, and I prefer to see it more. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the capture card. So as you guys can see, you're seeing the desktop from my actual, you're seeing the actual desktop from my phone. I am going to make it a little bigger so I can see it easier. So at least I can see it easier, because right now I can't. Okay. Alright, as you guys can see, I'm moving a cursor around, which is actually just my phone's touchscreen. I can launch games, I can launch apps. So you gotta think of it this way too. Utilizing that hardware's power is a really cool thing. Like, if I can use the full potential of my device, I would like to. Just because of the fact that, you know, you get more longevity out of it. So, that's what makes the most difference right there. So, like right now, I've got both of these apps open. I can have up to 6 apps open at a time while I'm also doing something on the phone. So, the fact that I can do about 7 different things at once, which is pretty damn nice, and because this has Bluetooth as well, I can pair a Bluetooth mice to this. I can pair a controller to this. I can do, you know, sort of whatever I want in a realistic sense. And it's amazing. It really is. So, like, a lot of people say, well, you know, they're not that powerful of hardware. You know, they need time to, you know, like the fact that, you know, a lot of companies basically say that, well, you know, phones are never going to be able to compete with PCs. I say bullshit, because in terms of certain particular projects, yes, I get that they won't. But in cases like this, where all you need is the basics, maybe play some games and do some stuff like that, your phone's more than enough. And whenever you upgrade your whole system. The recommendation I would have is to have everything backed up over through your Google Drive or have it backed up some other way. But essentially, because of that, you know, it makes it so much easier, you know, to do certain things. I'm turning on the Bluetooth for a second so I can pair my controller. There we go. So, for example, let's say Dead Cells. Right? So, Dead Cells is a game I enjoy playing. Don't get to play it all that often, but, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, but as you guys can see, like, this is nuts. That I can say, and it also works on widescreens as well. So the fact that this works just blows my mind, technically. Because you gotta think of it this way too, guys. You know, you gotta think of it this way too, guys. Mobile handsets are getting far more powerful, more and more and more. So I would say within maybe a few years, we're gonna, and I would like it to be modular, obviously, but on a realistic note, that's not gonna happen. It's just not. Alright, let's do this one. Fuck it. Okay, yeah, I'm going back for the other weapon. Fuck that. It does a little spinny bullshit. God, trying to play through a freaking... Oh, gosh. There we go. Yeah, but as you guys can see, like, you know, like, this is actually pretty decent. And the fact that this is running the way it is, yes, Dead Cells is not a difficult game to really run unless there's an ass load of enemies on the screen. Like, it's really not. But in a realistic sense, like, that's not a bad thing. Like, and the other good thing is, like, you know, you think of it this way too. You always have, if you always have your phone on you, well, then you always have all your files. That's another way I see it. Yes, would it be easier to have a lot more space? Yeah, absolutely. But that's why they make terabyte SD cards and stuff like that now. Don't get me wrong, I would love for, you know... Oh. I'm actually going to quit out of this real quick. So... Oh, that's right, I gotta pause. For this app, for some reason, you have to pause for you to close out of it. You know, case in point, though, you know... So let's say I want to do some emulation. I can do any of these games, any of these systems, you know, and it will just work, which is fantastic. Oh God, the buttons are reversed. But as you can see, emulation is also a thing. Like, I can turn around, put this on a much bigger screen if I wanted to, and then just keep playing. And that's the beauty of this, is like, yes, you can use the regular way your phone does stuff. Is it as intuitive? Not really. But it also doesn't mean you have to, like, you know, like, for example, right now I can exit Dex and it will just take me to my homepage. So, and as you can see, that's what it's doing. But yeah, I think in a realistic sense, for most people, your phone's enough. For most people, your phone's enough. And, you know, I could see it within maybe the next 10 years, maybe, that our phones will be primarily the only computing device we have. And this is a Samsung Galaxy S10e. Like, this is a bare minimum phone for it. And the fact that I'm able to do what I want on just a phone is nice. It's nice to have one device that does it all. But not all phones are like that. Yes, you can get adapters for it and stuff like that. And maybe I'll discuss that in another video. But yeah. I just figured I'd show this off with you guys. And just let you guys know my opinion on it. Like, I do think that eventually phones will become our main computer, or our portable devices like the phone and stuff like that. It's just a matter of time. We've already got stuff like the Steam Deck and stuff like that, and that's a powerful machine for the price. It really is. So, I'll see you guys in the next one. See you guys later. Have a good one.